Dave Roberts now available? First question's from Kirsten Watson. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Hope you're well. First, how's AJ doing, and what's the latest on him?
It's a strain. I'm not sure what grade of strain. It's going to be a couple weeks minimum, and so the corresponding move, we're going to add Edwin Uceta to the roster, but hopefully we can nurse AJ back to health.
And what do you expect to see from Trevor tonight?
I think with Trev, I think that, he's been good his last couple turns. I think below what his expectations, hasn't really felt good physically. There's that bug going around, but I think tonight, I think he's going to be really good. I think I expect him to go deep into this game and put us in a position to win the game.
And then with Brewster, what is next for him?
I think the next thing is he's long tossing, and I think the next step is to getting him on the mound. So he's out to 250, excuse me, something like that. So now I think hopefully next week we can get him on the mound and see how he's progressing.
Thanks so much, Dave.
You got it.
Next question's from Dave Vasa. Go ahead.
No comment. No comment. No comment.
You don't even know what question I'm going to ask.
Yes, I do.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with that.
What do you got?
You just mentioned that there's a little bug going around. Does that mean Trevor's a little under the weather?
No, he feels good today. Just kind of over his last couple starts, there's been a little bit of kind of infiltrating our clubhouse. But so, yeah, I'm more the victim right now than Trevor, which is most important.
Okay. As far as Edwin Uceta, when he started in Oklahoma City, he was that bulk innings type of guy. Do you plan on using him in some capacity tomorrow?
Yeah, he'll be available tonight. And so kind of playing tonight to win the baseball game. And as the dust settles, we'll make a decision on kind of how we deploy guys for tomorrow's bullpen game.
No further questions, Dave.
Thank you.
Next question is from JP Hornstra. Go ahead, JP.
Hey, Dave. I'll go ahead and set aside the thing you can't comment on too. But I do want to ask, yeah, you're welcome. But I do want to ask you just in general about your bench production this season. What have you seen, and is it, how challenging just has it been to find guys off the bench who can respond in those late inning situations as substitutes?
Well, I think the thing is, JP, is, we have guys now on the bench that are thrust into this situation, and the bench role is a very difficult role because there's not regular playing time. And so it's an opportunity for these guys to kind of get their feet wet. So it's not something that we've been used to in past years, is having guys that are familiar with that role. So you know what, they're doing the best they can. And I think getting the experience is huge, but certainly having Matt Beatty, after coming back from the alt site, to see his performance has been a big lift for us.
And when we're talking about rookies who are coming into the major leagues and being asked to substitute, whether it's a Luke Raley or a DJ Peters, is it unfair to judge who they're going to be as major leaguers off of what they're doing in this role that they probably haven't played as minor leaguers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do think it's unfair. And these guys are guys that are used to playing every day. And now you're raising the bar on competition, and they're not playing regularly. It's a different role. So I think that this sample, and it's very small, you just can't make much of it. So I'm just happy they're here. They're getting used to kind of big league life and seeing how things work, but too small of a sample, certainly.
Okay. And we're going to be talking to Edwin Rios here in a bit. How much of his struggles that you saw can be explained as a result of the shoulder injury, and how much else was going on with him this year?
I would just say a large majority of his struggles is related to the injury. And as I look back and see certain things that the swing just didn't look right, and now it all makes sense. I wish he would have come forward a little bit earlier, but as a player, you just don't know at what point you can play through it, and being hurt versus being injured. But Eddie's a great teammate. I'm just happy that he made a decision that he felt is best for him personally, and then now we can kind of go ahead with it, the surgery, and do the rehab process and get him back to 100%.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Next question's from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, what have you seen from Mookie recently? And do you think his back was a significant problem for him?
I think I see him more convicted in his swing. He's not caught in between. I think there's a lot more hard contact. And I don't think the back's an issue. I haven't heard. And Mookie, I think that it's kind of counterintuitive when a player in the batter's box is aggressive, you actually see the ball better. And so I think that's kind of where he's at. So he's mechanical, he's approach, he's a combo of both. And so I think that's lending itself to a lot more better at bats.
And then with Trevor, after his last couple of starts, he's mentioned like he knew that he wasn't feeling great. He was going to get struggle. Have you been around anybody who knows his body as well as he does? He seems to be really in sync with that.
Not to that extent. I think that people have a non quantitative way to kind of tangible way to feel how you feel and know your body. But as far as him having the feel, but also having the data to back it up, because he really tracks it by the hour, every day.
Is he spreading his gospel by any chance to other players, to other pitchers maybe?
No, I think he talks about it, but I don't think anyone's bought into that quite yet.
All right, thank you.
Next question's from Alden Gonzalez. Go ahead.
Don't do it, Alden.
Dave, I gotta say, I'm a little disheartened that you respond to me the same way that you respond to Dave Vassegh.
I know you as well, Alden. I'm not going to comment.
I'm gonna try to find a different way to navigate around that, though.
There you are. See, I knew it.
I'm wondering just what you're seeing from your team in terms of its struggles against left-handed pitching. How concerning is that to you? And I guess to be a little bit more blunt, how important is it that you get some help there?
I'm not concerned. I think that knowing the construct of our lineup, we will hit left-handed pitching. You can look as far as the back of their baseball cards. So that I'm not concerned, but I do think that we're always trying to get better as a ball club. And, our guys will do that, are always kind of kicking tires.
Perfect. See, that wasn't so bad.
Next question's from Juan Toribio. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, with AJ out, how do you kind of see filling in that left field spot?
Say that again?
With AJ out.
Yeah, with AJ, I think, I think Matt Beatty certainly has earned opportunities. I think, noisy at times. I've run out there, and we'll see. We'll see with DJ and Luke. But I think that right now I like Matt out there with pitcher dependent.
I guess this slots me in with Vassegh and Alden, but I'm trying to navigate through this as well. But you've been around Kershaw obviously a long time, and he's probably a first ballot Hall of Famer. How much is having a first ballot Hall of Famer like that kind of help the clubhouse and you personally?
Clayton will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He helps me because I think when you have talent, and to get the most out of your talent is to be better, to be good each day, and to realize that consistently. And Clayton does that by example. And so when you sort of surround your clubhouse with guys like that and that have a proven track record, that's a recipe that's shown that works. Guys follow.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
We got time for one more. Go ahead, Dylan.
Dylan,
Hey,
come on. I'm almost at this line. I'm good until now, maybe.
Well, so I'm actually coming back from I was at a track meet in Irvine right now, and it got me thinking. Do you think
you weren't at a boxing match or anything, Dylan?
No, track and field. Yeah, it was track and field today. And that got me thinking, Do you think you could beat Albert Pujols in a foot race right now?
As a player that I respect greatly, could I beat him in a foot race? I would say yes.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
You're welcome, Dylan.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.